Commander Eric Mason stood on the bridge of the U.S. Defiant and looked out at the stars. His ship was the pride of Earth's small fleet. The room was quiet as everyone watched the main screen. Suddenly, bright flashes of light appeared near Saturn. "Sir, multiple ships coming out of hyperspace," said Lieutenant Alan Wright, his voice tight with worry. Eric's heart beat faster. This was the moment humanity had prepared for. After years of careful expansion to nearby stars, they were finally meeting aliens. "How many ships?" Eric asked. "Over 300, sir. And they're big. Much bigger than ours." Admiral Olivia Bennett walked onto the bridge. Her gray hair was pulled back in a neat bun, and her uniform was perfect as always. Everyone stood a little straighter when she entered. "Status report," she said. "The alien fleet has taken position near Saturn, Admiral. They haven't made any aggressive moves yet," Eric reported. "Open a channel. Let's see what they want." The main screen flickered and showed a strange alien face. It had 4 eyes and skin that looked like blue leather. The alien had a breathing device attached to what seemed like a mouth. "I am Ambassador Zexthal of the Galactic Confederation," the alien said through a translation device. Its voice sounded flat and mechanical. "We have been watching your kind for some time." Admiral Bennett stepped forward. "I am Admiral Olivia Bennett of the Earth Union. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization." The alien's eyes blinked in sequence. "Your species has reached 3 star systems with this small collection of ships. Our scouts reported your colonies, but we expected more impressive military power." Eric noticed how the aliens' breathing tubes pulsed faster. The intelligence briefings had said this was their way of showing amusement or mockery. "We focus on science and exploration, rather than building more ships," Ambassador Bennett replied calmly. "Humanity believes in peaceful expansion. Peace is a luxury that only the strong can afford," the ambassador said. "The Confederation requires your immediate surrender. Your planets will be useful for our mining operations. Your technology will be studied for any valuable ideas." Eric watched Admiral Bennett's face. She didn't show any fear, but he had served with her long enough to see the slight tightening around her eyes. This was bad. "We need time to discuss your demands with our government," she said. "You have 48 hours before we demonstrate our weapons," the alien replied. The screen went dark. The bridge was silent for a moment. Then Admiral Bennett turned to her crew. "Send the signal to all outposts. Code phrase: Trojan horse." She looked at Eric. "Commander Mason, prepare the fleet for defensive positions around Earth." "Yes, Admiral," Eric replied. "Do you think they know?" Bennett shook her head. "No, their arrogance is clear. They see our small fleet and think we're weak. They haven't bothered to look deeper." Lieutenant Wright looked nervous. "Our ships can't match theirs. They outnumber us 20 to 1. "Numbers aren't everything, Lieutenant," Eric said. "Remember your history. The Trojan horse wasn't about fighting power. It was about deception." Admiral Bennett walked to the window and looked out at Earth, beautiful and blue. "For 50 years, we've prepared for this moment," she said quietly. "While building our visible fleet, we've been working on something else entirely." She turned to face her crew. "They see what we want them to see. A tiny fleet belonging to a young, weak species." Eric nodded. "And that's exactly why we'll win." "Alert all stations," Bennett ordered. "Protocol Trojan Horse is now active. Let's show these aliens why they should have looked beyond our tiny fleet." As the crew rushed to follow orders, Eric thought about what was hidden throughout the solar system. The aliens had no idea what humanity had really been building all these years. They would learn soon enough. The next 3 days were busy for all humans in the solar system. Captain Lisa Patel worked hard on her science ship, the Curiosity, to learn more about the alien fleet. "What have you found?" Admiral Bennett asked during an emergency meeting. The room was filled with Earth's top military and science leaders. Lisa pointed to a 3D image of an alien ship. "Their ships are very advanced, but they follow the same design across their whole fleet. They don't have many backup systems. Everything is controlled from their main ships. Admiral Bennett nodded. That's good news. How are our evacuation plans going? General Frank Carter showed a map of Earth on the big screen. Most civilians are now in underground shelters. We're at 94% of our target. All important people are safe below ground. In space, Eric Mason watched the alien fleet from the bridge of the U.S. Defiant. The alien ships were huge compared to human vessels. Their metal shells gleamed in the sunlight. The main screen turned on. The alien commander looked angry. "Humans, your delay tactics are obvious," he said. "You have 6 hours to begin your surrender, or we will attack your moon colony to show our power." After the message ended, Eric called Admiral Bennett. "They're getting impatient." "Good," Bennett replied. "Is the moon ready?" "Yes, Admiral. All real people left the moon 3 days ago. The colony is empty. We left behind fake images and robots to make it look like people still live there." Bennett smiled. "Perfect. The aliens still don't understand what they're dealing with." Eric looked out at the stars. "They're so focused on counting our ships that they haven't asked the important question." "Which is?" asked Lieutenant Wright. "Why do we only have a small fleet?" Eric said. "When you meet a new species, shouldn't you wonder why they built so few ships? What else might they have built instead?" Admiral Bennett appeared on a screen. "The aliens think they know everything about us just by looking at our visible ships. That mistake will cost them." On Earth, in deep underground bases, humans were busy preparing. Dr. Samantha Rodriguez checked systems on computer screens in her mountain base. "How's everything looking?" her assistant Daniel Harrison asked. "All systems are ready," she replied. "The network is active, but hidden. Our quantum links are working perfectly." Daniel looked nervous. "Do you think this will really work? Their ships are so powerful." "Power isn't everything," Samantha said. "Throughout history, humans have won battles by being smarter, not stronger. The aliens judge us by ship numbers. That's their mistake." In another part of the solar system, Captain Kyle Summers worked inside an asteroid. The base was hidden deep in the rock, invisible to outside scans. "System check complete," he reported to Admiral Bennett. "Platform is ready and linked to the network." Similar reports came in from Mars, Europa, Jupiter's moons, and dozens of other locations around the solar system. At each place, hidden human technology waited. 6 hours passed. The alien fleet moved toward the moon. Their weapons powered up, glowing with strange energy. "They're really going to do it," Lieutenant Wright said as they watched from the Defiant. Eric nodded. "They want to scare us. They think destroying part of the moon colony will make us surrender faster." The alien ships fired. Bright beams hit the moon colony. Buildings exploded. Air escaped into space. It was a terrible sight. After the attack, the alien commander appeared on screen again. "That was just a small demonstration. Surrender now, or we will target your space stations next." Admiral Bennett stood tall as she answered. "We need 24 hours to organize our surrender." The alien's breathing tubes pulsed fast, showing his feeling of victory. "You have 12 hours. No more delays." When the call ended, Bennett sent a secret message to all commanders. "Phase 2 starts in 4 hours. Get your teams ready." Eric looked at the alien fleet through his window. They thought they had won. They had no idea what was coming. The alien attack on the moon was visible from Earth. Bright flashes lit up the night sky as buildings on the lunar surface fell apart. People in the underground shelters watched on screens, scared but also angry. "Those monsters," whispered Communications Officer Nicole Rivera as she watched the moon colony burn. "All those homes. Remember, no one was there," Eric said softly. "We got everyone out in time." The main screen lit up again. The alien commander's face appeared, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "That was just a small taste of our power," he said. "Your moon colony was nothing." Next, we will target your space stations if you don't surrender immediately." Admiral Bennett stepped forward. Her face showed no fear. "We need time to organize our surrender. Please give us 24 hours." The alien commander's breathing tubes pulsed quickly. 12 hours, not 1 minute more. Then we expect your complete surrender." When the screen went dark, Bennett turned to her team. "They took the bait. Send the signal. Phase 2 starts in 4 hours. All across the solar system, hidden bases received the message." Inside the asteroid mining station called Demeter, Captain Kyle Summers and his team began activating equipment that had remained off and hidden until now. "Power up the main systems," Kyle ordered. "Keep emissions shielded until we get the final signal." Deep inside the asteroid, huge machines hummed to life. They had been built in secret, piece by piece, over many years. The asteroid's thick rock kept them hidden from alien scans. "All systems working perfectly," reported Kyle's second-in-command. "Quantum entanglement network is connected." Kyle smiled. "Send confirmation to Admiral Bennett. We are ready." Similar messages came from Mars, Europa, Io, and many other places across the solar system. At each location, humans had built secret installations that the aliens knew nothing about. Admiral Bennett received the reports on the bridge of the Defiant. "Status update," she asked Eric. "All installations report ready, Admiral," Eric replied. "Quantum network is active and stable. The aliens still haven't detected any of our hidden bases. They're only watching our ships and main colonies." Bennett nodded. "Good. Keep monitoring their fleet. I need to know the moment they make any new moves." Meanwhile, Commander Eric Mason led a small team to the alien flagship. They went in a small shuttle, officially to discuss surrender terms. But Eric had another mission. The alien ship was enormous inside. Eric and his team were led through long corridors by guards with weapons. They finally reached a large room where alien officers worked at control stations. While pretending to listen to the aliens discuss surrender terms, Eric carefully observed everything. He noticed how all the aliens received orders from central command stations. He saw how their ships communicated with each other. Later, back on the Defiant, Eric reported to Admiral Bennett through a secure channel. "The aliens run their entire fleet on a single connected battle network, just as our intelligence thought. Each ship is strong alone, but they all depend on central orders." Bennett received this news with satisfaction. "Then we're ready. Their strength is about to become their biggest weakness." In the command center on Earth, General Carter approached Bennett with a small device. "Here are the final authorization codes. Admiral, once we use these, there's no going back. We reveal everything we've been hiding." Bennett took the device. Her face was serious. "They gave us no choice. They came to our home and threatened us. Now they will learn why humanity built so few ships." As the 12-hour deadline grew closer, tension grew on both sides. The aliens prepared their weapons, confident they would soon control Earth and its colonies. They had no idea what was about to happen. "They judged us by counting our ships," Eric said as he watched the alien fleet on the screen. "They never thought to look deeper." Admiral Bennett nodded. "That's the oldest trick in warfare. Make your enemies see what you want them to see. Let them think you're weak." She looked at the countdown clock. Just 1 hour remained until the deadline. "Get ready," she told her crew. "It's almost time to show them what humanity really built while they were laughing at our tiny fleet." Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains on Earth, Dr. Samantha Rodriguez worked in a massive underground lab. Hundreds of scientists and engineers moved around her, checking equipment and reading data on screens. "Final system check complete," Samantha said, looking at her assistant Daniel Harrison. "The quantum coordination matrix is ready." Daniel watched the main screen, which showed thousands of green dots spread across a map of the solar system. Each dot represented a hidden human installation. "It's amazing," he said. "I still can't believe we built all this without the aliens finding out." Samantha smiled. The beauty of our plan is that the aliens fell for the oldest trick in warfare, judging strength by what they could see. How long have we been planning this? Daniel asked. 50 years, Samantha replied. When we first detected alien signals, Earth's leaders knew we couldn't match alien civilizations in traditional space battles. We couldn't build enough ships, so we went in a completely different direction. Daniel nodded. Instead of ships, we built this. Across the solar system, thousands of special defensive systems lay hidden. Some were buried under the surface of planets and moons. Others were inside asteroids. Some were disguised as normal civilian buildings or structures. None of these systems were visible to alien scans. They had been carefully hidden, built slowly over decades while humanity pretended to focus on a small fleet of ships. Meanwhile, Commander Eric Mason led a small team to meet with the alien leaders. The official reason was to discuss surrender details, but Eric had another mission: to confirm how the alien fleet operated. Report, Admiral Bennett said when Eric returned to the Defiant. Their entire fleet operates on a synchronized battle network, Eric explained. Just as our intelligence predicted. Each ship is powerful, but they all depend on central control. If we disrupt that network, their strength becomes weakness, Bennett finished. Good work, Commander. She turned to her communications officer. Send the signal to all installations. Prepare for synchronized activation on my command. In the command center, General Carter approached Bennett with a small device. It contained the final authorization codes. Once we do this, Admiral, there's no going back, Carter said seriously. We show them everything we've built. They gave us no choice, Bennett replied, entering her command codes. They came to our system, threatened our people, and destroyed our property. Now they'll learn why humanity didn't build the large fleet. The 12-hour deadline was now just minutes away. The alien fleet had moved into attack position around Earth. Their weapons powered up, glowing with strange energy. They're preparing to attack, Lieutenant Wright reported from his station. Open a channel to the alien commander, Bennett ordered. The alien commander appeared on screen. Your time is up, humans. Surrender now or face destruction. Admiral Bennett stood tall. Before you attack, there's something about humanity you should know. The alien commander made a sound like harsh laughter. Nothing you say matters now. Your tiny fleet cannot save you. You misunderstand, Bennett said calmly. Our fleet was never meant to save us. It was only meant to distract you. The alien's 4 eyes blinked in confusion. What trickery is this? Bennett nodded to her communications officer, who sent a signal across the quantum network. Across the solar system, hidden installations began to power up. Throughout human history, Bennett explained, our greatest victories came not from having more weapons, but from smart planning and new technology. On her signal, her officer sent coordinates to the alien vessel. The screen showed thousands of locations throughout the solar system. What is this? Demanded the alien. Those are the locations of 5,000 quantum-linked defense platforms hidden across our solar system, Bennett explained. While you were counting our ships, you should have been scanning deeper. On cue, all across the solar system, hidden installations revealed themselves. On Mars, huge doors opened in the ground. On moons and asteroids, surfaces shifted to reveal powerful weapons. Even near the sun, special heat-resistant platforms emerged from hiding. The alien commander's face showed shock for the first time. Impossible. Our scans would have detected. Your scans found exactly what we wanted them to find, Bennett replied. Our fleet is small because we put our resources into something completely different. She stood straight, her voice strong. You mocked our tiny fleet. Now you'll see what we really built. The alien commander stared at the screen in disbelief. All across the solar system, human installations were appearing where nothing had been detected before. They emerged from planet surfaces, rose from within asteroids, and appeared from hidden spots near moons. What trickery is this? The alien demanded, his voice filled with anger and confusion. Admiral Bennett remained calm. "No trickery, Commander. Just careful planning. For 50 years, we prepared for this moment." On the main screen, everyone could see the alien fleet now surrounded by human defense platforms. The platforms were unlike anything the aliens had seen before. They didn't look like normal weapons. Instead, they had strange devices that glowed with soft blue light. "You have 15 minutes to leave our system," Bennett said. "Any hostile action will trigger an automatic response." The alien commander's face showed rage. "You dare threaten the Galactic Confederation? Your hidden toys cannot match our weapons." The transmission ended abruptly. Eric turned to Admiral Bennett. "They're not going to retreat, are they?" he asked. Bennett shook her head. "No, their pride won't let them. Prepare for their attack." On the Defiance screen, they could see the alien fleet moving into attack formation. Their weapons began to glow with energy. "They're targeting our orbital stations," Lieutenant Wright reported. "Let them fire," Bennett said calmly. It's time they learned what they're really facing. The alien ships fired. Brilliant beams of energy shot toward Earth's orbital stations. Everyone watched, holding their breath. Captain Joe Williams sat at his control station in the hidden base beneath the Rocky Mountains. He was in charge of the defense grid operations. "Grid activation in 3, 2, 1, he said, pressing a series of buttons. The moment the alien weapons fired, the quantum defense grid activated. But instead of trying to block the attacks with shields or firing back with weapons, the human defense system did something completely different. The energy beams from the alien ships suddenly slowed down. Then they changed direction, curving away from their targets. Finally, they faded away completely, doing no damage at all. On the alien flagship, the commander watched in shock. What happened? Why didn't our weapons hit their targets? His weapons officer looked confused. "Sir, something changed the physics in those areas. Our energy beams couldn't exist there." Across the human fleet, people cheered as they watched the alien weapons fail. Admiral Bennett turned to her science officer. "The grid is working perfectly," she said. "Explain to our crews what they're seeing." The science officer nodded and spoke into the fleet-wide communication system. "For 50 years, while building our small fleet, Earth's greatest minds were developing something else. Technology to change the basic forces of physics in small areas of space." In the Quantum Coordination Center, Dr. Rodriguez watched her screens with satisfaction. "Each platform creates a field where we can adjust the fundamental forces of nature," she explained to the people around her. "We can change gravity, electromagnetism, and even nuclear forces." The aliens tried to retreat, powering up their faster-than-light drives. But nothing happened. Their ships couldn't activate their special engines. "Why can't we jump to hyperspace?" the alien commander demanded. His engineer looked frightened. "Sir, something is interfering with the physical laws our drives depend on. We're trapped." Admiral Bennett opened a channel to the aliens again. "Your ships are now inside our quantum grid. Within this grid, we control the fundamental forces of reality. Your weapons cannot work here. Your drives cannot function. You are powerless." The alien commander's face showed fear for the first time. "This is impossible. No species has such technology." "Humanity does," Bennett replied. "We didn't build a big fleet because we were working on something much more advanced." Eric watched the alien ships trying to escape using normal engines. They moved very slowly through the altered spaces. "They still don't understand what they're facing," Lieutenant Wright said. "They will soon," Eric replied. "Phase 3 should make it very clear." Admiral Bennett nodded to Captain Williams. "Begin the demonstration. Target their secondary command ship." Captain Williams pressed a series of buttons. "Targeting complete. Implementing Phase 3 now." Captain Williams pressed buttons on his control panel. On the main screen, everyone watched as one of the defense platforms near Saturn turned toward the alien's secondary command ship. Platform 247 activated, Williams reported. Targeting alien secondary command vessel. The platform began to glow with blue light. There was no beam, no explosion, nothing that looked like a normal weapon. Instead, a strange ripple moved through space, like heat waves on a hot road. "What is happening?" asked one of the junior officers. Admiral Bennett explained, "Watch closely. This is humanity's true power." The ripple reached the alien ship and surrounded it. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, small lights all over the ship began to flicker. The ship's engines glowed brightly, then went dark. Inside the alien vessel, panic spread. Control panels sparked and systems shut down. The ship's captain tried to call for help, but their communications stopped working. On the human ships, they could hear the confused alien communications. Engine core unstable. Weapons offline. What are they doing to us? On the Defiant, Eric watched with amazement. How exactly does it work? He asked. The science officer explained. The platform created a field that temporarily increased the weak nuclear force inside their engine compartment. This changed how atoms behave in that area, causing their power systems to fail without destroying the ship. One by one, the defense grid targeted alien ships. Each time, the results were the same. Ship systems failed, weapons went offline, and engines stopped working. Not through destruction, but through careful manipulation of physics itself. The alien commander, now desperate, opened a channel to Admiral Bennett. "What kind of weapons are these? How are you doing this?" "These aren't weapons in the way you understand them," Bennett replied calmly. "We call it the quantum manipulation grid. It doesn't destroy. It changes the rules." In the command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Rodriguez monitored the grid's performance. "All platforms functioning at optimal levels," she reported. "We could disable their entire fleet within 1 hour." The alien commander's voice grew desperate. This technology should not be possible. No species has mastered quantum manipulation at this scale. "Humanity has," Bennett replied. "While you built bigger ships and more powerful weapons, we took a different path. We learned to control reality itself." More alien ships lost power as the grid expanded its influence. Some tried to flee using backup systems, but moved very slowly through regions where gravity had been slightly increased. "We could destroy your entire fleet," Bennett continued. "But that's not our way. We prefer peace when possible." The alien commander's breathing tubes pulsed rapidly, showing his stress. "What do you want?" "First, the immediate withdrawal of all your forces from our solar system," Bennett said. "Second, recognition of Earth and all human colonies as sovereign territory. Third, a formal peace treaty." The alien was silent for a moment. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence as he considered his options. "And if we refuse?" Admiral Bennett's face was serious. "Then we will be forced to demonstrate the full capability of our grid. So far, we've only disrupted your systems temporarily. The grid can do much more." To prove her point, she nodded to Captain Williams, who activated another platform. This one targeted a small, unmanned alien probe. The field surrounded it, and within seconds, the probe simply fell apart as the atomic bonds holding its materials together weakened. "That was at just 2% of full power," Bennett explained. "We don't want to use this technology to harm others, but we will protect ourselves if forced." The alien commander's face showed defeat. "I must consult with my superiors." "You have 1 hour," Bennett replied. "After that, we will disable your entire fleet and tow your ships out of our system ourselves." As the transmission ended, Eric looked at Admiral Bennett with new respect. "Do you think they'll agree?" Bennett's expression was confident. "They have no choice. They just learned the most important lesson in warfare." "What's that?" asked Lieutenant Wright. "Never judge an enemy's strength by appearances alone," Bennett replied. "They saw our tiny fleet and thought we were weak. Now they understand their mistake. 1 hour passed slowly. On the bridge of the Defiant, Admiral Bennett and Commander Eric Mason waited for the aliens' answer. Everyone was quiet, watching the main screen. Finally, the alien commander's face appeared. He looked different now. His breathing tubes moved slowly, and his 4 eyes didn't blink with the same pride as before. "We have considered your terms," the alien said. His voice was flat and unhappy. "The Confederation agrees to withdraw from your system immediately." Admiral Bennett nodded. "A wise decision, Commander. Our leaders also agree to recognize Earth and its colonies as sovereign territory." The alien continued. "We will send diplomats to discuss a formal peace treaty." "We look forward to peaceful relations," Bennett replied. The alien commander hesitated, then added, "There is one more thing. Our leaders request information about your quantum manipulation technology." Bennett smiled slightly. "I'm afraid that's not possible. That knowledge belongs to humanity alone." The alien looked frustrated but didn't argue. "Very well. We will begin our withdrawal." As the transmission ended, cheers broke out across the Defiance Bridge. Similar celebrations happened on all human ships and bases throughout the solar system. After 50 years of preparation and fear, humanity had faced its first alien threat and survived. "Disable the grid around their engines," Bennett ordered. "Let them leave." Captain Williams sent the commands, and the quantum fields around the alien ship's engines disappeared. Slowly, the massive fleet began to move away from Earth. "Keep the rest of the grid active until they're completely gone," Bennett added. "I don't want any surprises." Over the next few days, the alien fleet left the solar system. Humanity watched carefully as the ships that had threatened them disappeared into hyperspace. 1 week later, Admiral Bennett, Commander Mason, and other key leaders gathered in the new Galactic Relations Center on Earth. It was time to prepare for the diplomatic meetings with the Confederation. "The word is spreading fast," General Carter reported. "Our intelligence says that at least 12 other alien civilizations have already heard about what happened here." "What are they saying?" Eric asked. Carter smiled. "They're calling us the species with the small fleet and the impossible defense. Some don't believe the stories. Others are scrambling to understand what we did." Dr. Rodriguez joined the meeting, carrying data tablets. "The quantum grid performed perfectly," she said. "We've already started working on improvements." Bennett looked at the star map on the wall. It showed Earth's 3 colony systems, tiny compared to the vast territories of the Galactic Confederation. "We never wanted to be a military power," she said. "We just wanted to be left alone to explore and learn." Eric nodded. "Sometimes the best way to ensure peace is to show strength." "Not just strength," Bennett corrected. "Intelligence. Creativity. The aliens judged us by the size of our fleet because that's how they measure power. They never considered that we might think differently." 3 months later, the first diplomatic summit began. 12 alien species sent representatives to Earth. The former Confederation commander, now serving as an ambassador, approached Admiral Bennett at the reception. "I must ask," he said quietly, "how did your species develop quantum manipulation technology? Even our best scientists are baffled." Bennett smiled. "We had to. We knew we could never match other civilizations in fleet size or weapons, so we changed the game entirely." The alien nodded slowly. "A valuable lesson. One the Confederation will not forget." As she watched the various aliens mingling with humans, Bennett felt proud. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not through conquest or overwhelming military might, but through innovation and thinking differently. "They mocked our tiny fleet," she said to Eric, who stood nearby. "Now they respect our giant minds." Eric smiled. "And they'll think twice before judging any species by appearances again." The new era had begun. Humanity's future among the stars was secure, protected not by the size of its fleet, but by its unique approach to solving problems. The species that had once been dismissed as weak had proven that true power comes in many forms.